Alright, we're going to do a traditional, or a Parachute Adams here. Got a size 12 dry fly hook. And debarb it in the vise. Nice thing about the Regals. Stick that in. I got some gray UTC 70 denier. It's real fine thread. I like the UTC. Bring that hook down to the barb point. I got some moose body here. I'm just going to get a couple, 4 or 5 fibers off of that. Clean them off. Stack them. Not much. Take those out. They're sort of evened up there a little bit. I'm going to measure that for the shank length. Tie that in. I'm going to start a little bit forward. Snug it down pretty good. As I go back, I'm going to loosen it up because I don't want those to flare too bad. So I'll get a little bit, and then I'll come back up on the hook shank. I get a nice clean finish on the points. Finish that up, clean it up. I've got some poly post material. I'm going to double that over. I want a good post on this one. I'm going to tie that in at about the 2/3 point. Get it plenty long so I have something to work with. Keep it up on top of the hook shank. Wrap her back. Come in. Easier if the camera wasn't there. Cut it off by a 1/3. Cut off another 1/3. And I finish it up. That helps taperize the body back. That. The thread wrap's cleaned up. I'll come in front of the post, build up a little bit of a dam there. Help stand it up. Support that. When I do my posts, I grab it, support it, tight. Support it, loose wrap. Support it, loose. Support it, loose. Every time you support it, you just tighten that down. If you keep your wraps loose when you're not doing it, you don't have a problem with the thread coming off the post. Works no matter what size you're using. Some of that out. Come back to the starting point. Got some gray, soft and fine dubbing. We'll take a couple applications on for a dubbing noodle. Dub that, bring it up. Build that up a little bit. I'll cover up the orange. Another little application. Not much. I don't use wax. Wet my lips. Bring that up right behind the post. I've got a couple hackles already cleaned up. I'm just going to strip the barbs off about 1/8. One wrap in front or back, couple wraps in front. Secure that. Take my grizzly hackle, again prepared. I'm tying these in with the dull side towards me. Come back, give that a wrap in the back. Couple wraps up front. I finished my parachutes on the post, so I'm going to finish that head or the front of the fly off with a little dubbing. Dub that in there. Start the front to the hook, work back. I'm going to give it one wrap underneath the hook, and then back up. I'm going to take both my hackles at the same time. I'm going to bring them around, keep them pretty snug. 1, 2 wraps up the post, pull her snug. 1, 2, 3 wraps underneath. Depending on how heavy you want it, what kind of water. I'm going to take that, I'm going to take this thread and keep it above, keep it above the hook. Wrap it around, give it a couple wraps. Trying to keep it above all those, or below all those hackle fibers. Trim that off close. One more wrap for good measure. I'm going to bring that back. I like to trim it out or finish it sideways. Take my whip finisher. I can come out, I can come underneath all the hackle, catch it, most of it. We don't splay out too much of that hackle. Get about four good wraps on there. Snug her tight. Bring her back in. I don't pull my thread off. I cut it off. That way it doesn't fray out. And that's it. That's Parachute Adams high vis.